Hey guys, Joe and Savannah with the Relationship Society and our Get It Together program, and we are on week 11, and we are talking about personalities and and because the thing about our personality that's really important for us to recognize is that's something that is pretty much fixed. From the time you're 7 on, your personality is not going to change. It's kind of like the color of your eyes. So I think that's one of the things that we have got to begin to realize, that you cannot change your significant other, your spouse, your lover. But our personalities, they're not right or wrong. They're just, we're different. We're male, female. We have gender differences. We have personality differences. There's just this idea that our personalities makes up who we are, and I think part of that is when we look at our scope personality assessment and you make those comparisons and you start looking at these differences, you start to see that, wow, we do have some differences here. But I do have a question for you. Do opposites attract, or do birds of a feather flock together? So the answer to that is both are true. So, because now what we want to do is we look at your scope assessment. We want you to go ahead and read through that assessment and look at the differences there. But we want you to scope out your personality. And exploring your personality and your partner's personality can be a fascinating and fun process of really discovering each other. And it can also point out challenges for you as couples who do love one another but have very different personalities and approaches or stances in life. So take a look at this. So the first part of your scope assessment, we're looking at if you look at your scope personality profile, it's based on really the 5-factor model. And one of the most widely accepted theories of personality. There's other assessments that you can take that you probably have taken through us, and that's the Myers-Briggs. But this model is sometimes referred to again as the Big Five model of personality, which has been widely replicated across cultures. But the scope, the acronym for that, are these 5 factors that we want you to begin to look at and read through and begin talking about. The first one is on the S is social, which is looking at extroversion versus introversion. These are preferences and a behavior in social situations. One of you may be more extroverted, and the other person more introverted. I am much more extroverted in my relationships, and maybe the other person might be more introverted. And so we may have some conflict around that, because I'm wanting to be out there in the public having fun, and the other person wants to stay home and read a book. And so it's finding a balance between that closeness and connection and separateness, or being able to go out and have fun, or staying home. And it's really about balancing those two. The C in the scope is change. That's between being dependable versus open to change. So flexibility and interest in new experiences. So that change that can create a conflict. So if one of you is more resistant to change, or I shouldn't say resistant, more dependable, you want to keep things kind of the same. Where the other person may be more flexible and open to new experiences. And these are some things that might be coming up in your relationship that you want to start discussing. The other thing here is being organized. That's conscientious versus kind of more easygoing. In a lot of ways, I'm, in my relationships and friendships, that can be kind of frustrating. I know that other people can be very organized and more detailed, and I can be a little bit more charmingly messy, and that can be frustrating to somebody who's much more organized and detailed and planful, and I'm more emergent, and and kind of looking through things through a different lens and being organized. But how organized and persistent a person is in their daily life and pursuing their goals. So take a look at that. The next one is on P, is on pleasing. Agreeable versus competitive. How considerate and cooperative are they with each other? So that can be one of the things you want to be talking about and reading through. And then the other part of this is being emotionally steady, calm versus sensitive. The emotional reactions, your emotional reactions to stress. So here we want to remind you that to really begin fostering an awareness and understanding about your personality similarities and differences, and help you guys really learn how to work with differences and not try to change them, and really begin to appreciate the differences, and to be able to work together as a team using your individual strengths and personality strengths. So this is your take-home message as we work through personality, dealing with personality differences. Remember, don't try to change your spouse. It doesn't work. It doesn't, and it won't work trying to change your spouse. Remember the positive aspects of your partner's personality that attracted you to them in the first place. We're going to be loading on this another principle called Wabi Sabi Love, and we're going to load that as part of this, of really appreciating and valuing each other's personality and differences, and that admiration. And be responsible for yourself. Try to learn behaviors that will positively contribute to your relationship, and how can you use your personality differences as a strength to your relationship. So anyways, we are so excited. We're on week 11. We got one more week to go, and we're going to be talking about setting goals, integrating all this stuff, consolidating it, and where do we go from here. So